Well, hello everybody. I am just gathering my notes here, waiting for some people to come on. It's 3:33, July 3rd, getting ready for the July 4th weekend. And also we have some really fantastic energies that we are working with and receiving. We have the lunar eclipse in Capricorn, July 4th and 5th. So we're going to be going over quite a lot today. And Samantha is joining on. Hey Mama, how are you? So I know it's kind of an off time, but this was the time that Spirit wanted me to come on and share this information with you. So I'm just going to gather my things here. Because I wrote everything down. We got quite a lot going on right now. All right. So welcome. So Samantha is saying, hey. Mindy is on. Welcome. So much that I want to kind of go over today because it's just been such an influx of energy. Melissa is on too. Welcome. Deborah is joining. Welcome. And if you guys have any comments throughout and I'm not able to read it because sometimes it's just I get lost in my thoughts and I don't want to get distracted, you know, I'll come back around again. So Jen's on. Hey girl. And Deborah, hi. All right, so have you guys been feeling all of this energy for the last couple of days? My God, it has been, hey Mindy, it has been incredible. It has been a lot of cosmic energy coming into our planet, and we have so many other things that are happening within our bodies, within our minds, you know, into our spiritual bodies. But we have this weekend, we have starting tomorrow and the 5th, we're having a lunar eclipse, full moon in Capricorn. So you guys also can be feeling those energies as well with the full moon, right? It brings up emotions. And then we have the eclipse, which always shines a lot of light on particular things that are in our lives that need healing and addressing. So welcome, Beth. Jen saying, I miss you too. I know it's been a long time. All right, so I'm just going to focus on this information. I'm not going to read the messages and whatnot. So this eclipse is really about resetting. So a lot of us are looking at what is in our world that needs to be reset. We just went through the energy last night of Sagittarius, and that is all about freedom. What do we need to reset in order to become free? So this is all like the massive energy shifts and things that can be happening, you know, to you, what you're thinking about and how you're trying to navigate through this. And then we have the eclipse coming. Like I said, it is a time to really look at things, and the moon always represents, you know, emotions. So we have that as well. And there's other things going on energetically that I'm going to talk about as well. But right now we are in a place, I spoke about this a couple weeks ago, and I've actually been talking about this for quite some time, and especially at the beginning of the year, about this massive event, this global awakening that is, you know, happening. And for those of us who've been on the path, it is absolutely another level of awakening that we're rising up to. So we just have this incredible amount of people either awakening for the first time, and then, you know, people who've been on this path, they're like forging forward, you know, with their ascension. So much in between is happening, but this is really such a global thing that we're all united, you know, in and experiencing. We are removing, what this is doing is, you know, we're removing our old outdated programs, our beliefs. We're being basically reprogrammed to who we originally were before we became so separate from our spirit and from source. We're removing a lot of karmic patterns. So, I mean, it has been an overall it's been a cleansing process to the, the 1000th degree, on so many levels. So if you think about the pandemic, that was a massive clearing, as well, bringing in a lot of understanding, a lot of shifts in really a reset was what I was just talking about earlier, so here's that reprogramming, breaking down all of these systems, breaking down, things that don't matter. I mean, this all factors in, and we're rebuilding our whole body, our mind, our spirit. We're rebuilding, the earth. We're rebuilding how we communicate with people and how we connect with people. Where Spirit was telling me to mention that you're rebuilding the new you in a foundation of love, heart-centered, soul-led living. So many of you are going through all of these incredible shifts, at different rates and different levels, but we're all collectively, we're in the same boat, and that's the beauty of, unity, whether or not, I'm at this level of consciousness versus another level of consciousness, we're all in the same, collective boat here, having the same shifts and going through the same thing. Now, the energy of Capricorn, so Sagittarius was the other night, right? And that I mentioned in my post that it governs the hips. So some people might be having like hip pain or leg pain. We have a couple of people now joining. Hi, Carrie. So that was Sagittarius, right? And it was all about that freedom energy. And now we're moving into Capricorn. It's affecting the bones. It's affecting the joints, the knees. Last night, and today especially, I've been having issues with my knees and having a hard time with that, and it governs that. Capricorn energy is like reserved, it's patience, it's using strategy to, put a motion, a plan in action with it. It is determined, so we have that energy coming in with this full moon and this eclipse. You're really going to utilize this energy. And Doris is saying she's had hip pain and going down to her legs. Yes, I miss you too. Nicholas is joining. So, just energetically with the moon and the astrological signs, that's influencing what we have going on as well. There is a massive awakening that is happening. I talk about this a lot in channelings, or if I'm doing Akashic records and such like that, what is happening to the light body process, your light body, as you move through this process. And being that we're having this cosmic light, I talk about this all the time. We talk this gamma ray, this plasma ray coming in from the great central sun, from the the universe coming in, and it is helping shift our body and our frequencies. I've been going through this for 10 years, so I am an ascension teacher to help you along this path so you can understand what is happening and changing within not only your physical body, but everybody, your emotional body, your spiritual body, your mental body, because you're going to go through so many different things, so many different shifts. So I can only just share what I know and what I've experienced. So we're having this 5D light, we call it, because what we're doing is we're partly, anchoring in this fifth dimensional frequency here, and it's going to overlay the third dimension, that lower frequency. And this gamma ray, this cosmic light, if you look at the Schumann resonance, you can see it's been spikes for days now. So you absolutely can feel when these cosmic rays coming in, your body is going to naturally react to how you are feeling. So we have this cosmic plasma ray, this gamma ray, this fifth dimensional light coming in and just infusing our cells. And I've spoke about this many times about, DNA recalibration. Vito's on, Sherry's on, welcome guys, Sophia is on. So we have this bombardment and this gamma ray, this cosmic light, this 5D light coming into our bodies. You look at it on the Schumann resonance, it's a complete whiteout. It's removing, if you look on the chart, the green light on that is just removing, basically this white light is just removing the third dimensional light, and that's all that healing. So think about what it's doing to the physical body, right, on that cellular level. We're morphing, our cells are being morphed into this fifth dimensional light or being that we were before we got disconnected, before we forgot who we were with source, right? So you're gonna have so many different things and sensations that you're moving through. And what happens is when this 5D light is coming in, there's spin points along your body. And actually there's spin points in every single cell. So when this 5D, this white light comes into your body, one, it disrupts your auric field because it's now clearing everything out, but it's entering into the cellular, matrix, into the, the atoms, and it's basically breaking away and changing the structure of your cell, so you can bring in more light. It's now then what that does, it creates this crystalline energy, this crystalline light body, this fifth dimensional light body. So of course that's going to really give you a lot of emotional changes or some, things that are happening. You're going to have physical sensations happening during this. I've had this happening years ago, when this information wasn't really too available now, and I just intuitively knew that it was like my cells were just going like this inside. So I thought for a long time it was anxiety, because that's how we, connect to that. Our brain wants to know what is going on. So it felt like this, electric racing inside of my body, and something just clicked one day, and it was like, DNA recalibration. So many things, what people have been reaching out to me or sharing, and I've gone through my own shifts lately, bumping into things, spatial awareness you guys might be feeling as you're, adjusting to the new frequency. So definitely bumping into things. Dehydration, so definitely drink a lot of water. There's that inner shaking I was just talking about. They wanted me to tell you there's been a lot of shifts in the third eye as you're being adjusted to your multi-dimensional sight. I had I taught a Reiki class on the 28th, and that evening I had a massive geometric download of light in my left eye, and when I was awake for it, and everything I looked at was like a kaleidoscope of rainbows of colors. But when I closed my eye, I could see all the bands of light and shapes. And I knew what was happening because I've had this in the past, where when I had that kind of attunement or activation with my sight, I remember going outside and seeing geometric patterns in everything. So this is just some of your eyesights are being adjusted. So Deborah is saying she's been cutting her fingertips, and banging her head and severe bloating. Yeah, I'm very cautious when I'm cutting now, because, my husband, he'll say I'm like an accident waiting to happen, but yeah, the bloating, releasing with that and banging the head. Yeah, absolutely. Michelle is on. Michelle, I was just talking about the eye shift. Hello. So I was talking about how I had this massive download in my left eye with the geometric shapes, and you can, when I began, many years ago, my eyes changed colors. I have seen that where they'll change right in front of me. They changed from orange and then went back to brown. All of those things, like you're basically being adjusted to this fifth dimensional light, and this fifth dimensional sight, really. So this is the third eye and the spiritual eye awakening. A lot of pressure in the head, the ears. They wanted me to, I was saying this before, they were adjusting, and I've been doing this with them, healings that I've been doing, because they've been taking me to the ear chakras. So you might kind of feel, movement and energy around, the ear chakras, feeling maybe underwater. Jennifer's been saying feeling very ungrounded. Absolutely. I've been feeling ungrounded, and I'm a very grounded energy. But when we're going through this massive bombardment, the gamma rays, the 5D light that's been coming in is happening more and more and more. And I said this years ago when the Hopis came to me. They said if people are not going on this path, they're really going to have difficulty when, this new earth comes. And this is what they were talking about. So it's like you either get on the horse or you're going to get dragged through, the mud and everything, and you're going to have a harder time. So I've made it a point really to be that teacher and to lead you guys, to do your inner work and to face your things. This way you can not have so much suffering with, if you're going to stay in the third dimension, because we're all rising and the earth is rising whether you're coming or not. So pass this along to anybody and everybody that that can utilize this information to understand just how crucial it is, because if they face their stuff, it's a lot easier, even though initially it's a little uncomfortable, right? But it's more comfortable in the long run, and the benefits are far greater. So when you're doing this shift multidimensionally, you're living in the third dimension, the container, the body, but you're now connected to the 5D light. I'm in the fifth dimension for like 90% of the time. It is bliss consciousness. It is unity consciousness. It helps. It's crazy because you can feel such a conscious shift when you are experiencing, heaven on earth, next to people who are living hell on earth. And that's really what the difference between third dimension and the fifth dimension is, because fifth dimension is love. So as I was saying, we have these spin points in our cells and along our body. So some of you also can feel like you are having tingling sensations or even skin crawling. I don't know if anybody has felt that, or I get that electric feeling moving through my body. And basically what's happening is this light is coming in and it's spinning the atoms within your cells, but also the spin points along, your bodies, your skin. So you can feel, some people feel like they're crawling, out of their skin, and that could be uncomfortable. Like you don't know what is going on. You think you're having, like I did back in the day, like I was having a nervous breakdown. But what's happening is like your cells are now spinning at a faster rate. Hence why you might feel electric, why you might feel that this is really anxiety. What I suggest to you do, I teach my Reiki students this, bring yourself back into a unified field of light. When you feel yourself spinning, because your cells are, basically taking in all this new light, bring yourself back into center. Okay, and they did tell me a couple of stones to recommend for you. Well, I'll just tell you now. Kyanite, they were telling me, I work with kyanite because it helps to, another thing, like it helps to bring down that electric feeling. It balances all your chakras. So Spirit told me to bring this to your attention. But it also, like, I get when we're dropping density, I feel that heat through my body. My ears get like super, super hot. So I really work with this stone, especially as of late, you know, more so than I have in the past, to help bring myself back, you know, into that place where I'm feeling more comfortable in my physical body. Because like I said, it can be a little uncomfortable. So what happens is, you know, you have axonal lines, you know, that they're made up, they're in our physical body, but they're not, they're multidimensional. Just kind of like how the chakras are, right? So the chakras are a multidimensional wheels of light or chakra system. And so these oxytonal lines run along the sides of the meridians. And the meridians, as we know, bring in this prana light. The nadis, they bring in this prana light. So basically, you know, all of these lines within our bodies, you can think about it as not only our cells basically being lit up with this, you know, this cosmic light, but, you know, all of this now is surging through the body. And, you know, if you know about meridians, it's carrying this life force energy to all parts of your body. So, of course, you're going to feel, you know, that electric energy and that energy moving through your body. Again, bring yourself, if you're Reiki attuned, bring yourself back into this place. Brian is on. Hey there, fella. And Bren is on. And Dina is on. Welcome, guys. All right. So, like I said, you know, you can feel that tingling sensation. I just wrote all this stuff down. Okay. So when we did the, what was it, on the solstice, I was guided to connect to the Lemurians and the energies of Mount Shasta and the Palladian energy. This is my Lemurian stone that really has a cool little image of Mount Shasta inside. You know, this was basically a gateway. It was this, you know, massive stargate that was coming and allowing for more light codes to come in. So if you've seen my posts about the 333s, the 444s, the 1212s, the 111s, all of these light codes, that's what they are. And actually that came up in when I was doing a channeling with Mount Shasta about these, that the Palladians were talking about how they were sending us all of these codes, you know, and it's always retrospect, right? You know, so now everything starts to flow and I get to understand, you know, what's happening. You know, I can put everything together. These codes are helping us to, for some, like the 1111, it's awakening code. Hey, Josephine. It's an awakening code, but it's an activation code. So every time, think about this with your spiritual sight. Every time you look at the clock and you see 1111, 333, you just are thinking that, okay, this is all synchronistic. And it is. It's letting you know that you are in this web of connectivity and synchronicity because you are part of everything, but there are also activation codes. So every time you see this, there's actually more happening underneath the surface than you are consciously aware of. So this is what's so cool, you know, the magic of, you know, of spirit. So we're wakening up, those are wakening up, and we're remembering, you know, our, you know, divine blueprint, that we are, you know, multidimensional beings. So we're all moving towards this. We are here to harmonize with the earth. This is what the Hopis always spoke of. But we're here to harmonize with the earth and also anchor in this crystalline structure. So we, of course, we have to do the interchange first before we see all of this outer stuff that is happening. And now we're harmonizing with these frequencies and doing this overlay. So, you know, our crystalline structure, our whole body, mind and spirit is all being restructured into this crystalline light body. And therefore, we're helping to anchor in this crystalline light, you know, over the third dimensional grid that was already here. The dolphin energy and this collective consciousness, I'm going to put more of a post up on this too, on my Palladian page. Their energy, they're doing a lot of work. They're gritting the water. They're bringing a lot of energy of this cosmic light down. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Matt's on too. Welcome. I'm just getting into the thought process. So this collective energy, the consciousness of the the whale energy and the dolphin energy that are gritting the waters, they hold already that fifth dimensional blueprint. I had a really, this is just a crazy story. I was going to the Bahamas and I was going to go to Nassau, and I had a dream and they told me to go to Abacos. So last July we went to Abacos, and I wanted to go to Nassau really to swim with the dolphins, but my guide sent me there, so we go to Abacos. And one morning at 7:30 in the morning, I literally wake up with the dolphin calling me down to the water, the consciousness. And of course, I'm not a morning person, and I was like, kind of wanted to go back to sleep, but the pull was so strong. And I went down to the water, and sure enough, I saw dolphins. The one and only time I saw them. And I wound up staying in the water the whole time, and even my husband was like, wow, is this like the new you? You're in the water the whole time. And I remember saying to him on this trip, I said, wow, I wonder what would happen if there was a hurricane. Well, literally a month later, there was that category 5 that hit the Bahamas. It took out the entire Abacos. It literally took out Abacos. A little bit of Nassau, of the Bahamas, and the outer, islands, but the main island that took the brunt of this Cat 5 hurricane was Abacos. I was like, wow, that's a little of a coincidence. So a month later, they told me I was brought there to help grid this 5D energy so that 3D, when the hurricane came, it wiped out that lower vibrational energy, and that's why they sent me there. So I guess the point of my story is that, you find these things out later on, that you're being guided to do, but the part what we're doing collectively with this gridding, and you might not even know it at the time that you were doing it. I did not know I was going there to grid. I just wanted to go to an island. I felt so strong and so called, and originally wanted to swim with the dolphins, but wound up going, my soul was led to go to another place. But the dolphin energy is so very present right now. We're working extra in our sleep time. A lot of us have parallel lives with the dolphins, so you might be feeling that as well. But we're here to restructure and to assist with that. Lots of dreams. There's been a lot of dreams that are taking place. A lot of telepathic communication. Maybe you're seeing your loved ones when you are sleeping. Maybe there are some relationships that you have karmic healing to do, and you're, clearing that. Excuse me. I mentioned the ear chakras are opening up. I know when I was doing the angel attunement classes, the angel card reader classes, that they did bring us and said that they're working on their third eye, but also the ear chakras. And what this does is it opens you up to listen to spirit. So I've been literally feeling lately, hearing the dimensions, hearing dimensional sounds with my physical ears as well. But what it's doing, it's bringing in cosmic truth too. And so if you think about all this cosmic rays that are coming on, and we're in this time, which I mentioned in a Facebook Live a couple of years ago, that we're shifting into the age of truth. A lot of blue rays really connecting to this right now, but we're in this time of cosmic truth. So lots going on. No wonder why we're all like all over the place, and having so many shifts. So the planetary signs of Mercury, right? So not only, we have these lunar eclipses and these solar eclipses we've been having, we have Mercury in retrograde, which, is communication. It's in Cancer. Cancer energy is emotional and very, very sensitive. So that is amplified. It is a healer energy. It's an empath. They feel, right? So Kathy's saying so many shifts. Steve is on. Welcome, my friend. And Jacqueline Marie is here. Thank you guys for coming on. So all this energy is, being amplified right now. We're moving in, like I said, tomorrow into with July 4th and the 5th, the full moon and the eclipse with Capricorn. And Capricorn energy is, like I said, optimistic, putting a plan in motion. So you guys might be having more like goals wanting to obtain. I did tell you that it affects the bones and the joints and the knees. It's a patient energy. So, just bear in mind if your body is starting to ache in these areas. The knees are a portal, so that definitely makes a lot of sense. And it is change too, going through a lot of change. So you might be feeling that as well. So yeah, Kathy is saying so many shifts. It's been really wonderful. Like I said, just, use these crystals to help ground you. They're our tools here. They were seeded with the Atlanteans and the Lemurians, and, the Arcturians bring and have put, crystals in the earth for us to connect with. So I said the kyanite, they told me, interesting enough, this came up in a healing the other day, to work with tanzanite. And tanzanite, interesting enough, is connected to Sagittarius, which is the moon we just had last night. But it helps shift your consciousness. So, and it soothes the body system. It soothes, your neurological system. And as we're going through these cellular DNA recalibrations, that's really going to be soothing for the body. Helps with insomnia, helps with headaches. These are another sign that people are getting. I talked about the ear chakras, the inner shaking. I spoke of the eye changes. You might have blurry vision, twitches in the eye. I spoke about the eye colors can change. Restless leg syndrome, that is another one. You might be feeling that as well. Last night, I just had a restless sleep. I just had body pains and just restless. So you might be feeling that a little bit more so. Body pains, heart palpitations, chest pain, heart racing, okay? All part of that. That's really your heart chakras, opening up. So it's really, in hindsight, it's a very good thing that you want. Emotions, of course, are going, we have those retrograde in Cancer, so emotions, it could be more sensitive, and then combine that with the eclipse energy, with the full moon energy, and with this extra 5D light in, I mean, it's like explosive. The other one they wanted you guys to work with is clear quartz, because this is just a master healer stone. If there's anything that you really just want to connect to as a, an overall great energy stone to work with, is the quartz crystal. It just basically clears all your chakras. It, wherever you place it in around your aura field is going to help balance it. It is great. I had a client the other day ask about Kundalini awakening. This is also a great stone for Kundalini awakening. And it reveals truths. So I understand now why they wanted me to share this with you and why to use this. It brings in higher states of awareness. And they also said amethyst. Amethyst is a great emotional, soothing, calms anxiety. And all of these, like the quartz and the tanzanite, they do help to for connection to spirit and aid in meditation and all of that. And so does amethyst. But it's really great for exhaustion too. If your energy body is just really, jacked up, this is a great stone too, just to kind of bring you down. And of course, any grounding stone is really great. Red jasper is great. We have, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, black tourmaline. Really anything that's like green or black would really bring down, your energy body. But this is what they were telling me to recommend for you guys. Okay, so now these light rays that are coming in, they're basically, and it kind of explains with what I was seeing with my eye chakra attunement. They're basically changing and giving this new geometric growth to our body, new pathways, let's just say. So new geometric pathways. So that's why when I was seeing it, it was all these geometric shapes flowing in and out. And I remember sitting there with my husband, we were watching TV and dinner time. I said, I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now, you know, in my eye. And he just thinks I'm crazy. But anyway, so what happens is that now this light that's coming in, that's creating all these new pathways, right? It's going through the meridians, it's going through the occipital lines, it's going into the chakras, and it's now going to connect each to your chakras. So when you get really into this higher level of your light body, you know, now you start syncing up with your chakra system, you know, and this whole physical container just gets, you know, revamped, really, you know. So all that energy is entering into your auric field, into your body, into your cells, and it's reconnecting. So it's like supercharged, you know, plasma rays that are literally rebuilding you into a limitless, divine, you know, human. So that's really another thing that I wanted to mention. Okay, so the last thing they wanted me to bring up was that this is all in alignment. So we had the summer solstice and leading up to everything that is happening, you know, with the eclipses that we have had, but this is really all lining up to the Lion's Gate. All right, so we're going to be in it for a little while now with these, you know, bombardment of light rays that are going to happen more and more. And when we shift into a permanent 5D, you know, you can look on that resonance chart and you're going to see that it's going to be white out all the time, you know, but you know, it's going to take a while, you know, for that to happen. So this great central sun, the Sirius star, is aligned with the Earth. This is when it gets lined up to the Orion's belt and the pyramids. So this is a massive gateway. So if you think you're experiencing some things now, it's just gonna build to August 8th. That's really when the Lion's Gate. So they wanted me to bring this up to your awareness if you haven't thought about the Lion's Gate or you do not know about the Lion's Gate. But everything since the summer solstice, it is all happening in flow and bringing it up to this one great, you know, basic, you know, event that we have every year with the Lion's Gate. All right, so that's the cosmic egg. That's the, you know, the great central sun energy. It is, I think I wrote it down, 26 times brighter than our, oh, it's twice the size of our sun, and it's 26 times brighter than our sun. So basically, it's literally a series. That is a great play on words. the serious source of spiritual light. That's a tongue twister. Say that a couple of times. So, you know, like I said, friends, you are, and we are on this incredible energetic shift right now taking place. Ride the wave. You're going through all these changes, you know, everything is divine timing. Don't get freaked out. Just know that this is all part of all these frequencies that are helping so we can change the earth. It's called the new dawn of awakening. It's with the Aquarian age, it's new earth, it's 5D earth, and you know, you are all playing a part in this. And they were saying, you know, make sure you just do your inner work, because that will create your outward reality. All right, my friends. So I think I covered everything, and I hope this all like made resonant sense, you know, with you. And of course, if you have, you know, any questions, they are telling me, because I'm getting ready to do some channelings for the Akashic readings, that this 5D light, basically, it is the light of truth. It is where you are connecting to source. this fifth dimensional light. This is where all like the Akashic energies and just all that information is basically coming into our bodies, and we're able to connect with that. I did, and I'll end it with this. I had another really cool experience after I took that Reiki class. And this falls in alignment with what I just was talking about in the beginning of the class with freedom. So I did the Reiki class, and I had that geometric activation in the eye the day after. And that evening, I basically saw myself and totally consciously aware moving through the cosmos into the Andromedan galaxy. And they were saying, everything, the universes are alive, inside of you. And I could see myself lining up with all of my parallel lives coming back, really bringing in this fifth dimensional structure in my body. But the point is that I understood it's like freedom. The Andromedan energy, the Palladian energy is under the Andromedan Council and energy. I work, my future selves in the Pallades, and I resonate and have been in Andromeda, and I bring forth that information. It is all about freedom. The beginning of the year, they came in as well as the Arcturians, and I had said, you need to have that inner groundedness, because no matter when your outer reality starts to change, if you do not have that inner groundedness, you're really going to have a difficulty. So their energy, that's why I'm very fluid and grounded, and share these messages with all of you about the importance of having that inner grounded reality. So no matter what happens externally, and this is what fifth dimensional living is like, because no matter what is happening in the 3D, you're not tapped in, and you're not plugged into it, and you're not responding to it. You're in this consciousness of love and peace and ease and grace, and you're seeing it from your fifth dimensional eye, and that's freedom. So their energy is vamping up. I have a page, and if you guys are interested, I'm going to put more of the cosmic galactic teachings on. It's a Palladian, Arcturian, Andromeda page under the light of Allah Kali, is who I connect with the Palladian and channeling, bringing forth that high light. So if you're interested in being a part, it's a private page. So you can request that, and I share more of this information of the galactic type. So reach out. But they wanted me to tell you that about the freedom, and thinking about Sagittarius energy, right? They're all about freedom. It's just perfectly and aligned. And when you release your third dimensional body, there's freedom, limitless freedom. So we are in the new earth will be of freedom. We are in freedom, movement. We're in the freedom stage of earth right now. So it is pretty, powerful, this freedom event that is taking place. So, all right, my friends, I don't want to take any more of your time. Enjoy the storms that are coming. It's cleansing. And notice how the clouds are changing. It's these gamma rays, fifth dimensional light has even changed our clouds and what we're seeing. They just wanted me to tell you that. So pay attention, look up to the sky. So thank you. Thank you, Pam. Thanks for coming, guys. And I love you all, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Yeah, so Deborah's saying, awesome, loving the storms, the clouds, just magical. And have a great 4th, all right? So, and hear freedom, right? I mean, this, you can't even make this up. So here we are entering into the weekend of celebrating our freedom, with July 4th. And the Andromeda energy coming in. So I guess that was where they were going with that. So Kathy's saying the clouds have been wild. Yeah, enjoy some fun this weekend. Get out and some sun. Connect to the rays. The sun is bringing in that light rays. So just soak it up. Open your heart, open your body, And oh, thank you, Kathy. And soak in that love and that light, all right? All right. Bye, my friends. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye now.